And then we talked about the regions where letters come out from in the Quran, which are 5 regions of the mouth, of the tongue, of the throat, and also we talked about the regions of the lips. So the last class we talked about the lips, the letters that come from the lips. So 4 of them: the wa, the ba, the mim, right, and the fa. So today we want to talk about the last part of the makharij, which is the last region. We call it the khayshum. What do I call it? What do I say? Do you guys have khayshum, the nasal cavity, right? That's the 5th region where letters come out. You know, letters of the Quran come out from it. It's called the khayshum. What did I call it? Khayshum, right?
Khayshum.
Right? So it's called the khayshum, which is the nasal cavity. Okay, it's called the khayshum, the nasal cavity. So give me 1 minute here. I'll display the screen. So you see my screen here talking about the khayshum. It's here. Okay, making it bigger. So you guys remember this image, right? Do you remember that image where we talked about the regions of the mouth? The regions where letters come out. Okay, so there are 5 of them. We've already discussed all of them. The last one we want to emphasize more today is about the nasal cavity. We already discussed it before, so we're gonna do some practice so you guys can get hang of it very well. So look at it here right now, everyone. Look at this. So we have here. Okay, so using my pen. So we have this part here. This is what I want to talk about today, the nose. Do you guys think the nose can pronounce the letter or not? Does the nose pronounce any sound or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does pronounce a sound. And the sound the nose pronounces is called ghunnah. What did I call it? Ghunnah. There's a time we talked about ghunnah here before. Maybe you guys have forgotten. We're gonna go back because we're talking about this region today. We've already talked about the jawf, which is where the mad letters come out. We already learned mad as well. We already talked about the throat letters, and we've talked about the tongue letters. There are 18 letters coming from the tongue. And we've already talked about the lips letters, the letters of the lips. So the last one we'll talk about to round up the discussion about the articulation of the letters and the sound of Quran is the nose. So we call them the nasal sound, right? It's called ghunnah. Ghunnah, right? Have you guys heard of ghunnah before? Ridwan, is Ridwan there or not?
Yes.
Great. You've heard of ghunnah before? Who's heard of ghunnah here before? Ali has heard of ghunnah before? Khalid, is Khalid there as well? Have you heard of ghunnah?
No.
Okay, so we're revising this maybe when I discuss the topic. You've not started joining me every Sundays yet. So we've talked about ghunnah before, but we talk about it randomly. But here we're talking about ghunnah as part of the articulation of the letters of the Quran. You know, when you speak something, when you say something out, where does the sound come out from mostly? When you speak, where does the sound of the speech comes out from, Aliyah? Is it from your what?
Wait, what did you say?
Whenever you say something, you say any language, you know, you speak out or you read something, where does the sound come out from?
My mouth.
Mouth, right? That's what you're gonna say, right? And so you see, the nose is a special spot in Quran and in some melodious, you know, recitation as well. Maybe people when they sing, they use their nose to make some sound, you know, right? You can use your nose to make sound, you know that. Like that's the nasal sound. Okay, so the nasal sound is when you pronounce sound of letters with your nose. And so the nose pronounce the sound that's called ghunnah, right? Ghunnah. So we're going to talk about the 4 types of ghunnah today. And how do you use your nose to pronounce them when you see them in the Quran, ayat and words. Let's get started. Okay, so Khali, can you read this I put on the screen here? What's this? Can you read that sentence?
It's a nasal sound that sounds like hum.
Right? So anything that comes from the nose is like it comes from the nose, right? This is the nose, and there are four kind of sound that come from it, and they have varying degree of how the will be pronounced. Okay, so we have the first, and before going into the types of the ghunnah, there are two letters that are really common that is pronounced with the nose. These letters do not get pronounced from the nose, but whenever they have some kind of symbols, maybe they have a shadda, the meme has a shadda. Do you know shadda? Do you know shadda? Anyone?
No.
Shadda is this when you see it on the letter.
Yeah.
So it's called doubling, meaning you pronounce the letter twice. So let's say you have, an example, you have ma. So this is a shadda, okay? And when you pronounce this, it's pronounced, the meme pronounced from the mouth, from the lips, sorry. The lips is where the meme come out from. But because the meme here is not having the shadda, it's gonna pronounce with the nose together. Ma, ma. So Adam being the meme is not having the shadda, it's pronounced naturally, right? But however, once the meme or the noon, when they have something like shadda, they don't pronounce on their own with the lips only, they get pronounced with the nose together. We're gonna do some example. So meme, noon, and tanween. So these are the letters and the sound that pronounce ghunnah, and they all come from the nasal cavity. Okay, you guys have seen this kind of symbol before, right? This is, what symbol is this one here, Khalid? The one I wrote down there. What's that? This one here.
That symbol is,
Yeah.
sorry,
Okay.
Quranic.
Is what? This is a tanween, right? You guys heard of tanween before? Okay. So in our expert, in our accelerated Quran reading program, I think I talked about this before. We have all this topic learned, and you're gonna learn the names and understand the different rules of it. But I'll tell you a bit of it here right now. This is Fathatayni. This is Fathatayni. Have you heard of that before? You've heard of Fathatayni before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Fathatayni is a form of tanween that when you have two fathas, the letter is gonna sound it's gonna have the when it's kasratain, it's gonna be in. When it's damatain, it's gonna be the sound, right? You learn all that. However, the tanween has like 4 different rules. We're not gonna talk about that today. Okay, we want to talk about the nose sound, which is the tanween pronounce it. The noon, when it has some kind of symbol like the shadda, it's gonna pronounce with what? With the ghunnah. Okay, so what are the components that produces ghunnah? A noon, a meme, and what? And what?
Quranic.
And when. So when you are asking, when you're being asked, you're gonna have a kahoot at the end of this class. So when you're being asked about letters that pronounce ghunnah or things that pronounce ghunnah, the nasal sound, it's gonna be a noon, a meme, and the tanween. This produces the ghunnah. Okay. But how often and what's the strength of the ghunnah we want to talk about now? So there are 4 types. So there's some ghunnah, which is sound that pronounced with the nose. One of them is the most complete one is this one here. Anytime you have a noon and you have a meme with shadda, like you have a noon, right, with shadda, and you have a meme with shadda, this will have a complete ghunnah, and it's the sound is gonna last longer, right? We'll do some practice. The complete one, which is, it's not most complete, but it's still complete, is the ikhfa, the rule of ikhfa and iqlab. And this is mainly common for noon, sakin, and tanween. When you have incomplete ghunnah, meaning you're not gonna use any nose to pronounce, or the nose will be used, but the sound will be reduced, unlike the one you have here, And we have the last one where the sound will not come out at all. You don't let it come out. Okay, so these are the 4 types. So we're gonna do one example each on this, and we all gonna have you read. So most complete ghunnah is when you're gonna have to do the sound, right? We talked about the ghunnah being the sound when you have like sound. So it happens in 4 different ways. One, when you have a complete ghunnah or the most complete ghunnah, it lasts longer. And it's not just the ghunnah alone, it's like you're actually pronouncing doubling, with shadda. When you do shadda, you're pronouncing a letter twice. Ikhfa and iqlab is a rule of nun sakin and tanween, so it's complete ghunnah. Idhar, and when you don't have ghunnah at all. So let's have each one of you practice this. These are ayat of the Quran. These ayats, what makes them have complete ghunnah? I'm putting them here. This is what makes this ayat complete ghunnah. Can someone tell me what makes them complete ghunnah?
It has short over many
Yeah,
and not.
yeah, excellent. Yeah, because of the shadda on the mim and the noon, then
Oh,
yeah, so that's gonna be making the sound much deeper and much thicker. So I'm gonna do the first example for you guys, and you see the way I pronounce the sound of ghunnah for 2 counts. So أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إنه عدو مضل مبين. You see, naturally, if the meme is just having the dhamma and the noon is having the dhamma or the fatha, the ghunnah will not be there. It's just pronounced naturally. But the moment it's having the shadda, you stay longer on it to pronounce it. The moment the noon and the meme are having shadda, they are the most complete kind of ghunnah, meaning you've got to stress the sound for 2 counts. Right? Let me read that again. إنه عدو مضل مبين. Right? إنه عدو مضل مبين. You see that? This is the most extreme kind of ghunnah. And they occur only when you have a meme and a nun with what? Khalid. When you have a meme and a nun with what? When you have a meme, when you have a nun and a meme with what? Makes complete ghunnah. When you have a meme and a nun with what?
with what?
With shadda. With shadda. Anytime you have a meme and a nun that's having a shadda on them, it's called it's called the meme and the nun mushaddadatayn. Like the meme and the nun are having shadda, they are the most extreme complete kind of ghunnah. So I want Khalid or Rudwan try to read this ayah in the middle here and apply the ghunnah, the most extreme complete ghunnah, to the nun, and also to the nun here. So try it out. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. I want Ridwan to try it out.
You want to go to the bathroom?
Okay, so Ridwan, Khalid, go ahead.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كأنها جان ولا مدبرا.
So you've got to learn that correctly. So you've not pronounced the noon with the shadda. Can Aliyah try it out?
Okay.
Great job, Khalid, though. Great job. You know the letters, great job, but you need to pronounce the noon with the shadda with the complete ghunnah. Now, go ahead, Aliyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كأنما
كأنها ها.
كأنها جاء والأيام مدبرة.
Okay, you guys need to practice a lot more. Great job, Aliyah. Right, I love this one here. كأنها. So this one is not wallaya, is walla. Remember, we learned maybe a few months ago about the lamb, about the alif, the tiny alif. That's why you guys, the students in our program, what they do is that they have the classes, they have practice, they have homework. So you need to be practicing this outside the class, okay? When you see this in the Quran, you need to practice more. When last you guys read Quran? When last you read your Quran, Aliyah? Today?
We read it. We read it.
You
read it. Monday through Friday.
Okay. Yeah, reading is different. Making it correctly is a different thing. So this is walla. So you see the tiny alif here is making the lam longer. So you see we're having the shut down the lam, but we're not doing ghunnah because it's not a letter of ghunnah. So you got this correctly. كأنها. All right, you got it right. So this is a كأن. So you see the shadda on the meme or on the noon, you make it with the ghunnah sound. So for 2 counts, right? كأنها جان ولا مدبرا. You know, this one here is noon with the shadda is a complete ghunnah. I also did some other thing here, which is a kind of complete ghunnah. This one is the most complete. Right, so if you see how I recited this part, I said, جان ولا مدبرا جان ولا مدبرا. So I make sure I pronounce this ghunnah with 2 counts. Okay. Ja. So the ja already is having a med. This is called al-maddu al-wajib al-muttasil. So this med will go for at least 4 counts. You cannot just say ja. No, you gotta do it 4 counts, right? Ja, at least you're gonna count 4 fingers, right? Whenever you see an alif med, right, in a single word, right? So this med, sorry, this is med lazim, right? Med lazim. Med is called med lazim. So this needs to go for at least 6 counts. It's called med lazim. So you have to do it for 6 counts. It's compulsory, you know, you have to do that, right? So you say ja wala mudabira, right? Great. So let's have Ridwan. Are you back? You back for good? Read this one and let's practice the complete ghunnah example in this ayah here.
Which one do you want me to read?
Yes.
I don't.
Okay. No worries. So yeah.
No, it's the font.
Is a what?
The font.
يأتينا من كل فج عميق. Although the most complete ghunnah is found in the first 2 ayah, this one here does not have the most complete ghunnah, meaning there's no any meme or noon that has a shadda on it. So let's go to the second kind of ghunnah, which is when you have these counts. It's called the complete ghunnah. So this one is the most complete. When you have a meme and a noon with shadda, the most complete. But when you don't have that scenario where you have a meme and a noon with shadda, but you're having a tanween, okay? You're having a tanween or a noon with sakin. These are called complete ghunnah. So how do you pronounce this one here? Ridwan, pronounce this.
كذابة.
كل. So this is called ikhfa. كل, right? You have to do the ghunnah for 2 counts. كل كذب. Say it.
كل كذابة.
Yeah, that's ikhfa. Right? So this one is called iqlab. It's a kind of complete ghunnah. Right? How do you pronounce this word, Aliyah? The second one here.
Which one?
This one.
النباعي.
Al. So so this one here is called, this makes it a complete ghunnah. This is called iqlab. We've learned this in this class before, in the Expert Quran Readers Facebook group, the lesson we have on Sundays. You know, if you go back into this portal, you'll see tons of videos we've talked about all this concept there. depending on whenever you're joining us right now in this classes. So we've talked about all this before. So this is iqlab, and this is gonna be al-anbiya, al-amba, right? Al-amba, right? It's al-amba, right? So this one is denoting a kind of complete ghunnah, which is iqlab. Al-amba, right? So anytime you see this tiny meme on top of any letter like that in the Quran word, it means iqlab. It's a kind of complete ghunnah. So meaning here, you're not pronouncing a meme, but the sound looks like a meme. Al-amba, right? Al-amba. And this one here, the same thing is iqlab as well. Khalid, how do you pronounce this? The one here at the bottom.
Do I say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem? Do I say that?
Just pronounce it. You don't have to.
Okay. Bainahum bisurin.
Okay, so here this is a kind of a complete ghunnah. You don't just say bainahum bisur. You've got to do the sound in between that, right? So bainahum bisur. So there's a more deeper topics that we learn in this platform before. Of course, our students in our selected Quran Reading program have all this topic learned in sequence. So this is when you have a meme that's silent, a meme that's silent meaning the meme is not having anything. And when you have a ba comes right after it, it's called ikhfa. It's called ikhfa al-shafawi. So what you need to do there is you gotta make sure you pronounce sound in between that silent meme and the ba. So this is gonna be بينهم بسور بينهم. So you gotta do the sound. So you see that? So these are complete ghunnah. So كل كذب الأنباء. Right? There's a rule of stopping though. بينهم بسور. Right? These are called complete ghunnah. And you gotta do 2 ghunnah counts in all this, minimum and maximum, right? So complete ghunnah. Let's go to the next one, which is incomplete ghunnah. Here, you don't need to do any sound, but this sound, instead of going for like 2 counts, is just going for like 1 count here. So here, for instance, you say minhum fasiqun. You don't say minhum. No. منهم فاسقون كفوا أحد وآمنهم من. So this one is the one that we are actually referring to here. Min khawf, right? So there's gonna be a guna here though, but this one here, the one in the middle here, doesn't have, it has an incomplete guna. So like here now we're gonna say min. So read this one, Khalid. Read this phrase here. How do you read this?
منهم فاسقون.
No, whenever you're stopping on a letter, right, you don't give it the sound, you give it a sukun, right? This is a stopping rule, right? So here now, you're stopping on this noon, you give it a sukun. It's called the half circle sukun to shorten the sound of the letter, right? So minhum fasiqun, right? That's how you stop on the letter. Minhum fasiqun. So here you're not having ghunnah that's complete here. Minhum, it's just like very brief ghunnah. It's not, mostly not really there. Kufuwan, right? Brief one. It's not kufuwan ahad. You cannot say kufuwan ahad. So Ridwan, how do you pronounce this? Is it kufuwan or kufuwan? Just pronounce it. Is it, yeah, this the second one here. Is it gonna be kufuwan or kufuwan?
Kufuwan.
Kufuwan, all right? So kufuwan is called izhar, meaning that you gotta take away the ghunnah a little bit. So you take away the ghunnah, you don't, unlike the one that we recited here earlier, kullun, right? We did the because it's a complete kind of ghunnah. However, this one is an incomplete ghunnah, so we reduce the ghunnah there. Kufuwan ahad wa amanahum min. So how do you pronounce this, Aliyah? How do you read this? Read this one here, Aliyah. How do you recite this?
Table, yeah.
Yalla.
How
Just
do you
recite this. So although we have two kind of guna here, we have the complete one and we have the incomplete. So pronounce this ayah.
وَأَمَّنُوا wait
Remember,
وَأَمَّنُوا
there's an alif mad in between the hamza and the mim.
وَآمَنُوهُم من خوف
Min
من
khawf.
خوف.
Right. So when you stop on a letter, you give it a sukun. So there are two kind of sukun you see in the Quran. You have the one that looks like a circle. When you see that one, it means the letter is not pronounced at all. Based on the Quran Madani, Uthmani font. When you see this one, like the one we used to teach in our program, this one means the sound of the letter is shortened. The letter is not pronounced out correctly. It's not pronounced out completely. Like here, وَآمَنَهُم مِّنْ خَوْفٍ. See how I stop on the fa? Min khawf, right? I shorten the sound of the fa without giving the kasra, right? Min hum fasiqun. And the only reason is because I'm stopping. Okay, this is a stopping rule when you stop on an ayah in the Quran. Instead of giving the kasra or the dhamma, you don't give it, you give it what? You give it a sukun. There are two exceptions, right? When you have a letter that's stopping and you have a fathatani on top of it, you don't give it a sukun, you give it an alif mad. So that's something we're going to learn later. Or you see a letter that has a ta, this kind of ta, and you stop on it, you're going to give it, convert it to a ha, not anything, right? So all letters that you see in the Quran, all letters, anytime they are ending a word and you want to stop on that word, if those letters are not having fathatani or it's not a ta, this kind of ta, right? You give all of them sukun. Like any. So here now, this is gonna be ahad. So you give the dal sukun as well. So the only exception is two cases, when you have a fathatani or when you have this kind of ta. Okay, this is the topic for a different time, right? So وَآمَنَهُم مِّنْ خَوْفٍ, right? So let's go to the last example before we run to do our Kahoot. You guys will do it?
Yep.
Would like to do Kahoot quiz?
Yeah.
Great, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's read this one here. So this one is an incomplete gonna. There's no gonna happen here at all. That's why the noon or any letter that will pronounce the guna is already having a haraka.
Huh?
So how do you pronounce this one here, Khalid? How do you pronounce that word? How do you pronounce that word, Khalid? Oh, okay.
Me?
Yes, how do you pronounce the word?
Which one?
Let me take off this. Let me come from this. Okay, this word here. How do you pronounce it?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
للمؤمنين.
Great. You see that? Now stopping. Yeah, you're stopping. You're applying the rule of stop, right? للمؤمنين. The noun supposed to have ghunnah. Admin, it's having nothing. But because it's having a kasra, it's already having a haraka. It's having a sound. It's having either fatha, kasra, dhamma. It will not have any ghunnah whatsoever in this case. However, if the noun is having a shadda, or the noun is having nothing, or is having a sukun like this, they will pronounce ghunnah. So recap it. We have 4 kind of ghunnah, and the ghunnah are the letters, are the sound that come from the nasal cavity, right? And there are 3 symbols that denote a ghunnah. One is if you have a noon, right? A meme or a tanween. These are the 3 situations that ghunnah will come up. And we have 4 types. Most complete one, when you have a noon with a meme with a shadda. The complete one is when you have ikhfa and iqlab, meaning you have letters like this kind of situation. You have a simple, a simple single, very small meme on top of a noun like this, or sometimes you see it, anywhere. It's gonna be a complete ghunnah. You have to do 2 counts of recitation of ghunnah, or this one here, or this one here. Bainahum sur. So this one are incomplete, meaning the ghunnah is reduced. Kufuwan minhum wa amanahum min khawf. This one, no ghunnah at all. Great. Let's do our Kahoot, friends. So to round up the class, you want to do it or not?
No.
You want to do it or not? Do you want to do the Kahoot or not?
We don't have enough devices to do it.
Okay, yeah, let's just go through the questions so anyone can just do it. Just one person can do it as well.
Okay.
I'll participate together with you guys. This is how we do in our classes in our accelerated Quran Reading program. Anytime we finish learning something and we want to end the class, we do have the Kahoots to actually revise the lesson. So everyone is really taking something home for that week or for that day. Okay, so the game pin is there. Who else is gonna join me there? We'll do it in the next 5 minutes. So we'll round up the class. Okay, I'm gonna put I in my own name. So you join it or not joining, let's just do it right away to recap the lesson. The most important thing, you guys need to be able to revise this at home at home. You can watch back these video lessons in our expert Quran group while you're practicing your Quran. That's a good resource you have. The videos is already in the expert Quran. How many types of Quran Nasal sound exist? How many we have? How many? We said the Nasal sound is this Nasal sound is the ghunnah sound. So how many of them do we talk about today? Okay, we talk about 4, right? The most complete one, when you have the meme with shadda and shadda, those are the most complete. Okay, the complete one is when you just have the tanween, or the noun with sukun does not having shadda. The incomplete one is when you have, the letters of izhar, and we have the last one is when you don't have anything, when the meme on the noun has their own individual sound. So the next question I want to ask is, the ghunnah is the Quran Nasal sound that exists with letters meme, noon, and tanween. Is that true? Yeah, so that's true. Yeah, when you see a noon, meme, and tanween, so ghunnah is likely to occur in that situation, meaning the sound that comes from the nose. The Quran ayah. So what kind of ghunnah is it? Is it the incomplete one, or is it the complete, or the most incomplete? Yeah, is the incomplete ghunnah, right? Right, incomplete ghunnah. Okay, incomplete, meaning here the ghunnah is reduced, right? Kufuwan ahad. The Quran what below has what kind of ghunnah? So lil mu'minin. So lil mu'minin has what kind of ghunnah? Right? It's most incomplete. So it doesn't have any ghunnah. Lil mu'minin. No ghunnah is involved in it. Okay. So the 5th one is when you have the ayah here. Innahu aduwwum mudillum. You should all get this right. So the noon have a shadda, the meme has a shadda. So it's the most complete kind of ghunnah, all right? Most complete, meaning like most complete ghunnah, it's got to go for 2 counts and it's extreme form of ghunnah. So you stay much longer on it to pronounce it. The last one, the Quran phrase here, this kullun kadhab. Kullun, right? We did ghunnah here, but it's not as extreme as the first one that we showed earlier. So this one is a what? So it's a complete ghunnah. Okay. Okay, so what I would recommend you all to do, the app I showed you guys in the portal in the class, I think a month ago, the Tajweed Mate app, go check it out, go practice these rules in there, and watch this video back while you actually read the Quran yourself. And I'll see you next week, inshallah, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام.